A couple days ago, I put the best players in the NHL onto one team together, and I wanted to see how many Stanley Cups they could win in a row. Now it's time to see what the greatest players of all time can do. But when I say greatest players, I should put that in quotation marks, because I'm selecting these players from EA's all-time team, and that's what they have in the game. So guys like Brodeur and Mike Bossy, they're going to be missing from this team. But that doesn't mean this isn't going to be a good team. We got tons of legends here, and I'm ready to see what they can do. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate halfway through the first season, and we'll see how they're looking. Alright, this team sucks. 16-9-2 after 27 games. And you know who I'm blaming this on? I'm blaming it on this man, Parker Kane. You are the worst head coach I have ever seen in my life. I just gave you the greatest players of all time. 16-9-2. I'm going to keep it a stack with you, my guy. You're gone. I'm firing you right now, and the assistant coach is now our new head coach. There's no way he could be possibly worse than you. So the assistant coach took over, and he's doing better. 29-13-2, and we're first in the entire league at the halfway point. But realistically, this team is not doing very good for the greatest players of all time. Wayne Gretzky, it should be no surprise that you're going to be leading the way with 24 goals and 23 assists for 47 points, while Patrick Waugh, you're going to be our starter in net. 22 wins, a 911 save percentage, and 258 goals against. Even these numbers aren't that great. I remember what Vasilevsky and Shesterkin did together, and they were much better than this. Also, Brodeur, what's that 887 save percentage? I'm expecting way more from you. Notice how I called him Martin Brodeur, and not Martin St. Louis. I saw the comments on the last video. My bad. I didn't realize it until I saw the comments on the video. That's definitely a top 3 screw up and stick on the ice history right there. When the season came to an end, the Moncton Monstars are going to be finishing first in the entire league with a 50-21-6 record, and we're not even close to breaking the all-time win record with the greatest players of all time. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Of course, Wayne Gretzky's going to be leading the way, but he's actually having a very disappointing season. 90 points, 46 goals, and 44 assists. How did you not crack 100, my guy? You're Wayne Gretzky. You should be doing better. 43 wins, a 906 save percentage, and 262 goals against. I'm honestly not that confident going into the playoffs with this team. Taking a look at the entire league, Connor McDavid's absolutely dominating. 54 goals and 66 helpers for 122 points. And look at all these players that cracked 100 points. And Wayne Gretzky couldn't. Claude Giroux and Kopitar cracked 100 points. And Gretzky couldn't. And of course, Patrick Waugh, he's leading all goaltenders in wins. That really shouldn't be a surprise. But here we are in the playoffs, and we got the New York Rangers in the first round. I know what Igor Shesterkin's capable of, so this is definitely going to be a tough matchup for us. Nah, I'm just kidding. I guess Igor Shesterkin's a fraud, and we're taking them down 4 games. Clean sweep. But now we got us another great goaltender, Freddie Anderson. We're taking on Carolina next, and I'm assuming he's going to put up a bigger fight than Igor. Once again, I guess I'm wrong, because we're taking them down to clean sweep as well, and so far we're 8-0 in the playoffs. After how the regular season went, I definitely would have been expecting this. But the streak of elite goaltenders is going to continue, and now we've got the Tampa Bay Lightning and Andre Vasilevsky. And Tampa's definitely putting up a bigger fight, because not only have we dropped 2 games, but we're also tied 2 games to 2. But we have the greatest players of all time, and we're not folding that easily. We're taking them down in 6 games, and now here we are, the Stanley Cup final, taking on the Edmonton Oilers. What's the biggest difference between the Edmonton Oilers and every other team we've played so far? Every other team we've went against plays defense. Edmonton doesn't, so I shouldn't be concerned whatsoever. And to start the series off, we're flying. We're taking game 1, game 2, and game 3. We got a 3-0 series lead, so this is in the bag for us. But that's what a logical person would have thought. We just lost 3 straight. We had a 3-0 series lead with the greatest players of all time, and we're heading to game 7 after having a 3-0 series lead. I really wouldn't be surprised if we lost in season 1 here. Luckily in game 7, the greatest players of all time are going to play up to their potential. They're taking Edmonton down in a 5-0 game, and just like that, we're Stanley Cup champions. But it definitely shouldn't have been this close. So now I'm very concerned for the future. Mario Lemieux, you were locked in the postseason, leading the way. Thanks, my guy. 17 goals and 13 assists for 30 points, but you weren't quite as good as Leon Draisaitl, who's picking up 39 points in 24 games. And Edmonton's top line, absolutely locked in. McDavid, he's picking up 36 points as well. And Zach Hyman, 33 points. Nah, I'm going to keep it a stack. We got incredibly lucky here, didn't we? And Patrick Waugh, the Stanley Cup winning goaltender, 16 wins with an 898 save percentage and 294 goals against. Those are the Stanley Cup winning goaltender's numbers. Yikes. Heading into year 2, I want the goaltending to be much better, because last season was absolutely abysmal. While the rest of you guys, I need you to perform better. Gretzky, 100 points minimum. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Before we get into this season though, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to pass my St. Louis Blues and YouTube subscribers, the best team in the NHL, and we just have to do it. And with 76% of the people watching these videos not subscribed, that's going to be a tough task to accomplish. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, and let's pass the greatest team of all time in the St. Louis Blues. Ignore how the team's playing this season, that doesn't count. Halfway through the season, the Monstars are currently second in the entire league with a 27-9-4 record, as the Winnipeg Jets are currently ahead of the greatest players of all time. The Winnipeg Jets are ahead of a team comprised of the greatest players of all time. I just love EA Simulation. Wayne Gretzky, a better season from you, 52 points, 25 goals, and 27 assists. Keep up the great work. But this goaltending, Patrick Waugh, an 881 save percentage and a 332 goals against. I don't care how many wins you've got, my guy. Those numbers are absolutely pathetic. Step it up. Luckily, Moncton's stepping it up in the second half of the season, as we're finishing with a a 59-17-6 record, and we're first in the entire league. While Gretzky, 50 goals, 46 assists, 96 points, just crack 100. It really shouldn't be that difficult. And Patrick Roy put up some half-decent numbers, my guy. What is this? 38 wins, an 890 save percentage, and 312 goals against. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't care if you win a Stanley Cup this season. Martin Brodeur is taking over the reins next season because you're playing pathetic. So taking a look at the entire league, Austin Matthews is going to lead the way with 128 points. While Patrick Roy, he's going to lead all goaltenders in wins with 38. Wait, hold up. 88 goals in 82 games. Austin Matthews just put up 88 goals in 82 games. This dude just averaged over a goal per game. I don't even know what to say about this. I did a video not too long ago where the video would end when somebody scored 82 goals. That took like 17 seasons. Austin Matthews just did it in year 2. Honestly, I'm actually a bit upset about this. Why couldn't I just been doing that 82 goal video right now? That would have been way easier. So forget about Austin Matthews' 82 goals. That doesn't matter right now. We got the New Jersey Devils in the first round, and we got to get past this team because I have a lot of questions about our team right now. The Devils are going to put up a slight fight, but that's not going to stop us, and we're taking them down 6 games. And now we got the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round, but I'm looking past Carolina. I need Tampa Bay to stop Toronto. We got to stop Austin Matthews because if Austin Matthews has to go against Patrick Roy, and the way Patrick Roy has been playing, Matthews is going to average like 3 goals a game easy. Similar to the New Jersey Devils, Carolina's putting up a slight fight, but we're going to be taking them down 6 games. And thankfully, Tampa Bay, they're going to defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs in 6 games. I think I'm the only person to ever be scared of Toronto in the postseason. Who would have thought? But we got Tampa now, and I'm very concerned about this team because we know what they can do. And apparently they can't do anything. We're taking them down in 5 games. That's going to be light work for us. And here we are in the Stanley Cup final. We're taking on the Minnesota Wild, and this is definitely going to be a good matchup. But the matchup wasn't as good as I thought it would be because we're taking them down in 5 games. Why didn't New Jersey and Carolina just put up a better fight than Tampa and Minnesota? I was expecting these last 2 series to be way more competitive. Gretzky, it was incredible numbers from you in the postseason. You're definitely carrying the way. 16 goals and 16 assists for 32 points. While Patrick Roy, 16 wins, a 913 save percentage, and a 252 goals against. That doesn't change my mind. You're not the starter next season. So heading into year 3, I made it pretty clear last season that Martin Brodeur, you're the guy this season. You're taking over in net. And if you falter, I'm not going to Patrick Roy. I'm putting Martin St. Louis in net because we obviously know he's a legendary goalie. If you know, you know. At the halfway point, the team's looking okay. First in the entire league with a 27-11-4 record. While Wayne Gretzky, 46 points in 42 games. I've just given up with you, my guy. Why can't you record 100 points in a season? So I guess Patrick Roy decides he wants to play with my emotions because he's going to absolutely lock in 13 wins, 4 shouts, a 922 save percentage, and 212 goals against. Why are you playing better as the backup? Why do the backups play better on this team? Like Brodeur, I gave you the starting role and your numbers immediately fell off a cliff. I can't rely on anyone for this team. It should be no surprise when the season came to an end, we're finishing first in the entire league with a 56-22-4 record, but that's only 5 points ahead of the Minnesota Wild in the standings. So it's not like we're that much better than anyone in this league. So the greatest disappointment of all time is leading the way, 56 goals and 39 assists for 95 points. I'm done talking to you, my guy. All you do is disappoint me. And Brodeur, you're not much better. 34 wins, an 896 save percentage, and 284 goals against. I gave you the range because I thought you could handle it. Clearly you couldn't. Looking at the entire league, Kirill Kaprizov's going to be leading the way with 41 goals and 76 assists for 117 points. And coming in second, of course, it should be no surprise, David Krejci. 38-year-old David Krejci, 107 points. Why? Just why? So Austin Matthews just joined the Tampa Bay Lightning and had 88 points this season. Last season he had 88 goals. Interesting. Also, I thought I'd mention salary cap is off, so the Leafs literally could have gave him $100 million per season, but he said, no, I want to go to Tampa instead. That's tough. Oh yeah, and Kochetkov, he's leading all goaltenders in wins with 41, but none of that matters. The playoffs are what matters here. We got the New Jersey Devils in the first round. Last season, they put up a bit of a fight against us, but we ended up coming out on top, so they're actually looking for some revenge here. And they might actually get the revenge. The series is tied 3 games apiece, and we're headed to Game 7. And in Game 7, we actually lost. We allowed 3 unanswered and lost in the first round. The greatest players of all time. I just want to give EA Simulation a round of applause. I just put the greatest players of all time on one team together. We couldn't even break the win record. We struggled in basically every single playoff series we played in, and we only could win 2 Stanley Cups. Fantastic.